Like, in numbers, it might be near about $15,000 to $20,000.
So giving up absolutely everything you own, moving across the world, and fighting for an entire decade to marry the man of your dreams, only to realize the fairy tale might actually be a catastrophic financial trap. For years, Jenny and Sumit painted themselves as the ultimate Romeo and Juliet of the 90-day universe. They battled cultural divides, furious parents, and endless on-screen drama, finally convincing the world that their love was genuine. But what if I told you that the happily ever after they sold us is currently unraveling into one of the darkest, most twisted betrayals in reality television history? A wildly viral TikTok recently surfaced, dropping absolute bombshells about what's really going on behind closed doors in India, and the details are genuinely hard to stomach. From devastating medical rumors to secretly drained bank accounts, the story you thought you knew might be a complete illusion. Before we dive into the deep end of this massive rabbit hole and uncover exactly what sleuthing fans have exposed, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the untold stories behind your favorite reality stars. It helps the channel out a ton, and trust me, you are not going to want to miss the crazy updates we have coming your way. Now, let's get straight into the reality of the situation, because the trap they set for themselves has officially snapped shut. To understand the sheer magnitude of what is allegedly happening right now, we have to look at the ultimate contradiction in Sumit's character. For seasons, his entire storyline was built on the premise that he was a man willing to sacrifice his family's approval to protect Jenny. He was the guy who stood up to his mother, the guy who promised Jenny that if she left America behind, he would be her absolute rock. But recent reports and a flood of Instagram fan theories suggest that rock has completely crumbled. Rumors are currently exploding across social media, claiming that Jenny has recently been diagnosed with a severe, life-altering medical condition. Theories suggest she is battling ALS, a devastating illness that requires immense care, support, and most importantly, money. You would think that after everything Jenny sacrificed, Sumit would be moving heaven and earth to take care of her. But according to the viral buzz online, the exact opposite is happening. Fans are speculating that in her darkest hour, Jenny is finding herself completely abandoned in a foreign country, trapped in a nightmare where the man she gave her life to is allegedly turning his back on her. But that's just scratching the surface of the betrayal. As these medical rumors circulate, an incredibly damning credibility dilemma has emerged for Sumit, putting him in a double bind that he cannot talk his way out of. If you've watched the recent episodes, you already know about the massive red flag that the producers aired. Sumit took out a secret $20,000 loan without telling Jenny. Let that sink in. 20 grand, completely hidden from the woman he shares his life with. Now, reality TV stars often blame bad editing for their on-screen mistakes, but you cannot edit a secret loan. Fans immediately took to Reddit and TikTok to connect the dots, and the theories they are coming up with are chilling. Reports claim and rumors suggest that this wasn't just an innocent mistake, but part of a much larger pattern of financial control. The dilemma for Sumit is that his credibility is absolutely shattered. If he claims the money was for their future, fans ask why he hid it. If he stays silent, it validates the massive wave of online speculation that he has been slowly draining Jenny's life savings. He is caught in a trap of his own making, and the internet is refusing to let him off the hook. And what happens next escalates the stakes far beyond reality TV drama, crossing the line into what many fans are calling a fight for actual survival. We aren't just talking about a couple arguing over household chores anymore. We are talking about alleged financial ruin and staggering medical debt. According to the deep dive videos circulating online, treating a condition like ALS is incredibly expensive, with rumors suggesting that Jenny needs an immediate $20,000 just to cover baseline medical costs. Ironically, that is the exact amount Sumit allegedly took out in his secret loan. The internet is buzzing with claims that a GoFundMe has even been quietly set up just to help Jenny afford basic care. But the most shocking rumor of all, the piece of information that is making viewers absolutely furious, is how Sumit is allegedly handling this financial crisis. Social media insiders and fan accounts are claiming that when Jenny begged for the money to pay for her desperately needed treatments, Sumit told her his accounts were empty. Instead of taking responsibility, reports suggest he coldly told Jenny to call her daughter back in America and beg her for the cash. Imagine the absolute heartbreak. You drain your entire retirement fund, you move to India, you endure years of public humiliation from your partner's family, and when you are facing a terrifying medical diagnosis, you are told to beg your child for help because your husband allegedly emptied the accounts. The professional and financial stakes for both of them have hit a boiling point. The network is watching, the fans are mobilizing, and the facade of the happy couple is completely shattering under the weight of these brutal allegations. The concrete example that acts as the absolute knockout blow in this entire unfolding saga is the staggering financial math that internet sleuths are currently tearing apart on TikTok and Reddit. For years, viewers watched Jenny give up every single comfort of her American life. We are talking about a woman who reportedly cashed out her early retirement, packed up her meager savings, and moved to a country where she couldn't legally work, entirely dependent on Sumit's promises. Now, rumors suggest that while Jenny was busy trying to integrate into Indian culture and win over his relentlessly hostile parents, a massive financial drain was happening right under her nose. The devastating proof that fans keep pointing back to is the timing of that infamous $20,000 secret loan. According to the viral theories circulating right now, you don't just accidentally borrow 20 grand without your spouse noticing, unless you have systematically isolated their access to the household finances. Reports claim that Sumit managed their money under the guise of handling the complicated local banking systems, essentially keeping Jenny in the dark. So when the devastating rumors of her alleged ALS diagnosis began to surface, alongside whispers of a desperate GoFundMe campaign to cover medical expenses, the audience did the math. The amount Jenny supposedly needs for emergency medical care mirrors the exact amount Sumit secretly borrowed. Where did that money go? Wild speculations are flying around, with fans theorizing everything from terrible crypto investments to secretly funneling cash back to the very parents who spent a decade trying to destroy Jenny's life. But what makes this situation so incredibly frustrating for the viewers isn't just the missing money, it's the realization that this is not a sudden, unpredictable tragedy. It is a textbook character study of a deeply ingrained behavioral flaw. If we take a step back and examine Sumit's track record, the current allegations fit into a chilling, decade-long pattern of deception. Let's not forget how this entire relationship started. He didn't meet Jenny as Sumit. He catfished her as a ridiculously handsome English guy named Michael Jones. When that lie collapsed, he promised her a life in India, only for her to arrive and eventually discover he was secretly married to another woman. He literally left Jenny alone in an apartment while he went home to his actual wife, playing a dangerous double life until his father-in-law ambushed them. The core behavioral flaw here is a pathological need to avoid conflict through massive, life-altering lies. Sumit has never been the guy to face a problem head-on. Whenever the pressure gets too high, whether it's from his family, the culture, or his own terrible decisions, his default setting is complete deception. Fans are pointing out that this alleged financial ruin is just the Michael Jones catfishing situation escalated to a catastrophic level. He didn't want to admit he was broke, he didn't want to admit he couldn't provide, and according to the rumors, he didn't want to admit he had drained whatever savings they had left. So he allegedly did what he always does. He hid the truth until it blew up in his face, leaving Jenny to deal with the absolute wreckage. And you would think that with these terrifying allegations making headlines across reality TV gossip pages, there would be some sort of genuine accountability, or at least a believable explanation. Instead, we are witnessing a completely failed emotional appeal that is making the audience turn on them faster than ever before. If you go to their shared social media accounts right now, the level of inauthenticity is actually jarring. while Reddit threads and TikTok comment sections are on fire with rumors about Jenny's failing health and Sumit's secret debts. Their Instagram page is reportedly still pushing this bizarrely curated, happy couple aesthetic. Fans are clicking on their profiles expecting to see updates on the alleged GoFundMe or some clarification about her health, and instead, they are greeted with old, recycled clips of them smiling, cooking, or awkwardly dancing in their courtyard. It is a massive miscalculation. Viewers are not stupid, and presenting this fake, incredibly forced emotional appeal of a perfect marriage, while rumors of a devastating betrayal swirl online, is completely backfiring. The comments are brutal. People are demanding answers, asking directly about the $20,000, and begging to know if the medical rumors are true. But the couple, or whoever is running their page, is allegedly just deleting comments and ignoring the outrage. This silence is being taken as a total confirmation of guilt. When you have built an entire career on broadcasting your most vulnerable, dramatic moments to millions of people, you cannot suddenly shut the door and pretend everything is fine when the house is visibly burning down. The audience feels deeply manipulated, realizing that the sweet, long-suffering narrative they bought into was likely a carefully constructed illusion meant to keep the TLC paychecks rolling in. But the reality of their situation is far darker than a few deleted Instagram comments. As the financial well runs dry and the network cameras pack up, the true cost of these alleged deceptions is starting to set in. What makes this entire situation so intensely heartbreaking isn't just the alleged missing money or the devastating medical rumors, but the staggering thematic hypocrisy at the very core of their relationship. If we look back at the narrative we were sold for over a decade, Sumit painted himself as the ultimate underdog hero. He was portrayed as the brave, modern man standing up to traditional Indian family values, defying his incredibly strict parents, all for the sake of his Western soulmate. Jenny was the fearless romantic, risking everything she had to cross the world for true love. But the core moral of this tragic story is rapidly revealing itself to be a massive warning about the dangers of blind trust and the dark side of reality television fairy tales. The intense irony here is that Jenny endured years of vicious verbal abuse from Sumit's mother, firmly believing that Sumit was her ultimate protector. She isolated herself from her own culture because she thought he was building a safe haven for them. Yet, according to the viral theories circulating right now, her supposed protector is the very person secretly leading her to total financial ruin. Fans on TikTok and Instagram are pointing out the ultimate hypocrisy. Sumit demanded absolute loyalty and sacrifice from Jenny, asking her to give up her family, her home, and her retirement, but he allegedly couldn't even offer her basic honesty regarding a massive $20,000 secret debt. Reports suggest that Sumit fought tooth and nail to keep Jenny in India, not out of profound, unconditional love, but perhaps because she was his absolute golden ticket to reality TV fame and a steady stream of American network paychecks. He weaponized the concept of love to excuse a decade of red flags, and the audience is finally waking up to the fact that the rebel romance was likely a calculated trap from the very beginning. But the fallout from this alleged betrayal goes far beyond empty bank accounts and shattered promises, leading us to the most terrifying aspect of this entire ordeal. The reality check Jenny is supposedly waking up to right now is a horrifying picture of complete and utter isolation. Try to put yourself in her shoes for just a second. She is a woman in her later years, living in a developing country where she does not fluently speak the language, essentially trapped thousands of miles away from her actual support system. If the dark rumors regarding her battle with ALS are true, she is facing a rapidly progressing, terrifying illness in a foreign medical system, completely stripped of her financial independence. Her daughter, Christina, who has always been her fiercest defender on the show, and the one person who constantly saw right through Sumit's excuses, is stuck on the other side of the planet in the United States. Reports claim that Sumit's alleged financial drain wasn't just careless spending. It was a slow, calculated move that systematically cut off Jenny's escape routes. Without her own money, she cannot just book a flight home to California. She cannot quietly hire her own doctors. She is allegedly trapped in a house with a man who, according to the viral theories, sees her failing health as a massive financial inconvenience rather than a heartbreaking human tragedy. The isolation is both physical and psychological. She alienated her early skeptics to defend Sumit, and now, when she desperately needs a lifeline, she is looking around and realizing she is entirely alone in a world he controls. This isn't just entertaining reality TV drama anymore. This is a deeply alarming scenario of profound vulnerability, and fans are genuinely terrified for her safety and well-being. And that brings us to the absolute point of no return in this tragic, unfolding saga. There is a line in every relationship that, once crossed, destroys the very foundation of trust forever, leaving absolutely nothing left to salvage. For Jenny and Sumit, that line was completely obliterated the moment he allegedly looked his sick, terrified wife in the eye and told her to beg her daughter for medical money. It's been said that this was the exact moment the illusion shattered permanently for Jenny. You can forgive a lot of things in the name of love, especially when the reality TV cameras are rolling. You can forgive the initial catfishing, you can forgive the shock of a secret first wife, and maybe, in a moment of extreme desperation, you could even forgive terrible financial management. But you absolutely cannot forgive a total lack of human empathy when your life is quite literally on the line. When you ask the man you gave your entire life to for help to survive, and his response is to deflect the responsibility onto the child he separated you from, the marriage is over in every way that matters. The audience realizes that there is no coming back from this catastrophic betrayal. The grand romance that TLC packaged, edited, and sold to millions of viewers has seemingly devolved into a dark, cautionary tale of exploitation and alleged financial abuse. As the rumors continue to mount, and the alleged GoFundMe links quietly circulate the darker corners of the internet, we are left watching the horrifying collapse of a woman who gave up everything for a total mirage. It begs the terrifying question: how much of what we saw over the last 10 years was ever real, and how long will the network continue to profit off a situation that is reportedly spiraling into a genuine real-life crisis? The story of Jenny and Sumit is clearly far from over, and as more insiders leak information and these TikTok theories get validated by real-time events, you can bet we will be right here covering every single twisted detail. If you found this deep dive into the dark side of the 90-Day Fiancé universe as shocking as we did, make sure to absolutely smash that like button and hit subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on the reality behind reality TV. Drop a comment down below and let me know your wildest theories. Do you think Sumit was running a brilliant, long-term con this entire time? Or is this just a tragic case of staggering incompetence and bad luck? I want to read all of your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video.